welcome back to a Total Betty Media podcast. Welcome back to Let's Talk OC. Welcome back to Tree Hill Talk.
All of our pods.
Yes, I'm Michelle.
And I'm Liz.
And this week we're discussing a highly requested episode, the OC versus One Tree Hill season and finales.
This was requested. We didn't make this up, guys.
No. We did not make
you
this
asked,
up.
and again, we delivered.
We provide because that is what we do here at Total Betty Media. So I pulled out on Instagram because both of our shows, our babies, our One Tree Hill, our OC, both premiered in 2003. So it's 2003. What are you watching? And I pulled out on Instagram. Liz, what were the results?
The results. In 2003, you're watching the OC with 45% and One Tree Hill 55%. So it definitely got down to the wire towards the end of our poll. But in the beginning, it was a lot of One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
And it still made it on top. So
yeah. So in 2003, I was watching the OC. You weren't watching either.
I wasn't watching either.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So the OC aired in 2003 of August, and it ended in February 2007, a total of 4 seasons. One Tree Hill aired September 2003 and ended in January 2012, a total of 9 seasons.
Within a month of each other. And that's because if you learned from Drama Queens that they didn't think they were going in the fall, they thought it was winter.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh crap, we're getting pushed to fall. And so these shows were literally released within a month of each other. That's crazy.
Yeah. And especially for the time to have 2 huge, at the time they weren't huge yet.
No, but now they're a phenomenon. So
right. And big teen dramas on different networks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, people are always like, they're so similar. They're so similar. And we've discussed these 2 shows
They are
entirety.
nowhere near similar. There are some plots that could be compared, but really they have such different vibes.
Yeah. There was this article I found from the New York Post, actually, in 2003, and it was the OC versus One Tree Hill, and it was this face-off. It was ridiculous, and it's like they're so similar because you have the hot guy, you have Chad Michael Murray, and you have Ben McKenzie, and you have the hot girl, Sophia Bush, and
Rachel Bilson, Misha Barton.
Yeah. And then you have the geek, you have Adam Brody and Joy Lenz.
Okay.
That's where those 2 were compared
I get
to each
that,
other.
but
Yeah.
I feel like Joy, like Bethany's character, Haley. Oh my God, I was like, what's her name? Haley.
Yeah.
She blossoms, and I mean, she stays true to her core, but I wouldn't consider her that like bookworm.
In the beginning, I mean, she was Tudor Girl.
Yeah, I mean, she was Tudor Girl, but like where Seth, core 100%, he is like that indie kid. Like he's just through and through until the last episode, like the same person.
Right. And so that's where I come back to, I don't think these shows are similar at all. And I was also Googling last night. I'm like, okay, if I want to watch more shows like One Tree Hill, what comes up? And it was like Party of 5, Smallville, Friday Night Lights, like
that I can
all
see.
of these teen dramas. The OC was not listed.
No, because it's not wrapped around sports. It's about rich kids that live in California and the things. Yes, it's like a family drama. There's still things that go on there, as does One Tree Hill, but it doesn't revolve around sports,
Right.
which I feel like Friday Night Lights, obviously football.
Yeah.
So
And One Tree Hill basketball.
One Tree Hill basketball, those, I can see comparable, but really, there's not that like entity in the OC.
Right. Like, yes, is it a teen drama? Yes. Is there tension between characters? Yes. Is all the cast good looking?
Yes.
But isn't that television?
Yeah.
Right? The other thing, too, which now drama queens have talked about, but a lot of other articles stated that One Tree Hill was more relatable. Not many people can relate to the privileged life in Orange County, California.
Right.
Which I guess at the time it was escapism for me, but I did relate to these characters in my own way.
Right.
Chrismica.
Right.
Indy.
Yes. Those things.
Yeah.
But as far as the person that you like yes, you resonate, you can resonate in any of the characters.
Right.
From either show. But
right.
yes, One Tree Hill does have that small town vibe.
Yeah.
But laughable that, you know, one becomes an NBA star, one becomes a famous singer, one becomes an owner of a, you know, her own business, like things that people strive for. But in the OC, it was more like, okay, the kids are doing like normal kid things.
They really are.
They followed a path. I mean, and granted, only 4 seasons, right? So they followed the path. We get the sum up in the end, and they're all doing like these like normal everyday people jobs.
Also, I just want to say before we really get into it, and this should be a given, but
Totally.
if you haven't watched the OC and you haven't watched One Tree Hill and you think you're going to watch, now is the time to turn off and tune out because we're going to be spoiling here.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Huge spoiler trigger warning. Now's your time to exit.
Yeah, so Tree Hill Talk has been a completed podcast for quite a few number of years at this point. Let's Talk OC, we wrapped in December of 2020. So we both have seen the entirety of both shows multiple times. So we're going to be talking.
Yeah.
You might want to close out if you haven't, but we're assuming if you're here, you already listened and have watched.
Yeah. So, okay, we decided to...
It was actually Ant's idea, right?
This was actually Ant's idea. He decided, not that he decided, but he suggested that we compare the OC season 1 finale to One Tree Hill season 1 and 2 finales.
Right.
Compare OC season 2 finale to One Tree Hill season 3 finale. Compare the OC season 3 to One Tree Hill season 4, and then the OC season 4 to One Tree
All
Hill
of the rest of
7
One Tree
and
Hill.
9. Because really 5 and 6, I think One Tree Hill we can just kind of brush upon, but season 4 is where the OC kind of gets weird according to, and depending on who you talk to, it's different.
It's definitely a different vibe, as is 7 and 8.
9.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
7 and 8. 9, we kind of reel in back to like where we felt
True.
better about knowing these characters and their growth. But 7 and 8, I mean, you guys, if you listen to Tree Hill Talk, you know our thoughts on that. And as far as season 4 of the OC, different vibe, way different than the rest of the show. It's more depressed and sad and dark, and then it becomes this kind of like, let's throw dreams in there, you know, all the things that as a creator of a show would probably want to do. So they're just like, it's our last season, let's just do it.
Right. And as Anne said, after Leighton leaves, it's a different vibe.
Different vibe.
After Marissa leaves, it's a different vibe.
So we're gonna compare.
Yeah.
Even though it's hard because really there are similar plots, which we'll talk about. But in reality, as we said, not the same.
All right, so let's get into the OC season 1 versus One Tree Hill season 1 and 2. The OC finale is Teresa's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Might be Ryan, so he has to go back to Chino. He decides to go back to Chino. Seth is super upset, and he sails away, leaving a note to Kirsten and Summer, which we don't see them get those letters just yet. While this is all happening, Julie marries Caleb.
I mean, what a whirlwind of a finale.
Yeah.
I remember for the first time watching that scene where Teresa says she's pregnant and you don't know whose kid it is, and being really like, no, Ryan, don't go back. Just keep your old life, your new life. And that was just so heartbreaking. And then Seth, poor Seth, like, this is my only outlet.
I know.
Please don't leave me.
And then you have Marissa, who's like, this stings, but I get it.
She gets it. She gets it. And then her freaking mother goes and marries Caleb.
Right. The finales are always ending in these big things, which usually that's how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. And especially if you only have 4 seasons,
sure,
you better make those finales something huge.
Yeah.
We have One Tree Hill, season 1 finale. Lucas and Keith, like Seth, go to Charleston because they want to escape life. Keith and Deb sleep together because Keith is heartbroken over Karen not wanting to be with him, and Deb's obviously just a hot mess through everything. And Dan suffers a heart attack because Deb is like giving him divorce papers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nathan and Haley get married. So really sort of similar,
right,
with the things that happen there.
Yeah.
I remember watching this episode and us screaming at the television, are you kidding me? These 2 kids are getting married. There's no way.
We're like, okay,
they just wanted to have sex.
But like, come on. And I think we knew, we're like, okay, they're probably endgame. But it was so unbelievable because they're in high school and it just was so hard to get on board with. Sorry,
Definitely.
Nelly lovers, it really was.
It was, and we talked about it, I think, in length
I
for
know,
the first
maybe.
2 to 3 seasons. Like,
Yeah.
okay, is this still going to happen? Are they still going to end up together? Are they going to get divorced? Is this Chris Keller thing going to get in between
my
their
God.
relationship?
Yeah.
And I mean, luckily for the fans, it didn't. They really did push through everything that they went through.
Yeah.
So that was really nice to see. And then we have season 2 finale. Lucas finally tells Brooke how he feels about Brooke, but she decides she's going to leave.
Right.
And Jake, who Peyton is pining over, goes off to find his baby mama, Nikki, because she has stolen their baby. Craziness. Like, this would not happen. Peyton gets a visit from her real mother, Ellie.
Here we go.
Here we go to like the dramatics. And the fire in the car dealership where someone is poisoning Dan ultimately to kill him. So 2 finales in a row, Dan is struggle bus.
When just everything that's happening, it's like, yes, One Tree Hill maybe started out relatable, but it
Then-
really is so soap opera.
And then it builds to be a lot less relatable
yeah.
in storylines because there are a lot of, I guess soap opera things that they throw in there that necessarily most likely would not happen to your normal person.
Right.
The car dealership fire and spoiler alert, your ex-wife trying to kill you probably won't happen to you,
Right.
poisoning you. And then I remember that whole pretty much season of season 3, Lucas trying to figure out and Dan trying to figure out like what happened and who started it, and him then ultimately thinking it was Keith, and it was just a
Wild.
hot mess.
Yeah.
So but like relatable things where Lucas finally realizing, okay, maybe Brooke is the one I should be with. But Brooke's like, I'm not doing this Lucas game anymore. I think she still did it
No.
after that, right? Season 3, we still are doing
a little
this.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think, does Brooke find out that Peyton and Lucas kiss? There's something, it might be season 3. I might be getting them confused, but so those are 1 and 2 of One Tree Hill compared to season 1 of the OC, where in season 1 of the OC a lot happened. 27 episodes,
Right. So you have a lot happens, but it's pretty tame compared to
Right.
these 2 seasons.
the only thing that was pretty epic was the Oliver stuff
and Tijuana.
which in a way more realistic than Oliver, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So
Yeah.
them wrapping it up where Ryan's kind of like, I'm going to go back to like where we started the series. Like, I'm going to go back to my roots, and Seth now is alone again. And
Right.
Kirsten and Sandy have to deal with the aftermath of that. And Ryan stepping up, Marissa understanding. It just is like all kind of full circle.
One of the other differences, major differences, is just the way,
Parents?
well, parents, for one, more parenting happened in the OC.
Definitely.
Female friendship was much better in the OC versus
OC.
One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
Even though, there were times Brooke was always there for Peyton, and Peyton loved Brooke, and even though they did chasings, but they were always pitting women against each other.
Yes.
And they didn't do that in the OC.
No, they didn't. And there was a time in season 3, as we know, Marissa was having a really rough time, and she was really defensive against her actions towards, like, it was Summer, and Summer not understanding where she's coming from, and how could you be dating Volchok? Like, what's wrong with you? What are you going through?
Do you remember that lasted 1 episode?
Yeah, it felt like forever, but it really didn't.
I remember approaching season 3 and we're like, oh my God, this is when Marissa spirals and gets bad. And then as we're watching it and living it and talking about it, we're like, oh wow, there's really only 1 episode where her and Summer are off.
They're off, and then they kind of find each other again. I mean, but the whole year for them is rough. They're not like in the best place as far as friendship goes. And then luckily before graduation, everything's
Right. Which we're
back to
jumping ahead.
normal, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue on to the OC season 2 finale. Caleb dies, which Julie is tempted to poison him.
She wants to kill him
because they want to get a divorce. And then he has a heart attack and falls in the pool, and she ends up not poisoning him.
Epic.
The other epic thing is we have Marissa shoots Trey.
Another crazy thing. So here we go, a finale that maybe is a little less relatable.
Right.
Because, I mean, you shooting your boyfriend or whatever they were at that time's brother because he's
Out of
trying to kill
defense.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably doesn't happen to you all that much.
I mean, an iconic
iconic.
finale. Iconic. And that season overall, we have Marissa dating Alex.
Yep. Love
So
that.
We have that in there. And then Summer and Seth are getting back together. And then we have the birth of the comic book. So
Yep.
season 2 is really good.
Season 2 is good.
Okay, but One Tree Hill, what do we have?
Season 3 of One Tree Hill, we have Nellie gets married again. So now they're able to do it in front of their friends and family. Uncle Coop is there, and Rachel has this huge crush on him, and they've been hooking up. And she tells him that she's pregnant because the entirety of the episode we're like throwing around this pregnancy test, not knowing whose it is, which kind of have that later on in the OC. Then because Uncle Coop is so distraught, him and Rachel are driving together. As she's telling him this, he's like, what's happening? And he's driving and drives off the bridge into the water where Nathan and Lucas end up saving them. Or you don't know until much later, but they are saved by them, which was just like, what? And I'll never forget that scene of Haley screaming over the bridge like, Nathan! I'll never forget it. It's ingrained into my brain for the rest of my life. But I think it's a good episode overall because there is that like, whose is it? And we end up finding out it's Haley's.
Yeah.
And Deb, she ends up confessing to Dan that she's the one who started the fire. So like full circle from season 2. Pretty good.
Deb. Oh, Deb.
That was a good finale.
It was a really good one.
That's a really good one. 3 and 4. 4 is a really good one because we'll get into it.
Well, so to compare the OC season 3 to One Tree Hill season 4,
Similar.
graduation.
Definitely.
So in the OC, the kids graduate from high school. This is an extremely emotional episode.
Definitely.
Marissa decides she's going to live with her dad and not go to Berkeley or just prolong going to Berkeley. Ryan drives her to the airport. Volchuk, as we discussed a little bit earlier, how she was dating Volchuk.
He was jealous.
He's angry. Crashes into them. Marissa fucking dies.
She dies.
And Ryan is carrying her.
But so epically.
Epic.
Dies.
I mean, talk about another iconic scene of Ryan carrying her.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, like when you think of the OC, you think 100%, unfortunately, but in an epic way, of Ryan carrying Marissa not only once, but twice, TJ, and this episode.
And in the pilot.
And in the pilot because she's drunk on the floor and her stupid friends leave her there. I think of that. And then, of course, I think of the gunshot, and I think of the finale, the series finale, and I think of...
The other thing you think of, just throwing Marissa in there, is when she's screaming.
Love
the
that.
pool scene.
I absolutely love that.
I mean, this is like... That was season 2.
That was
Do you
so
want to know
good.
how I really feel? Ah!
Oh my God. I remember just like bawling up. I'm like, this is so emotional.
So emotional.
For this poor kid to be going through.
But the graduation, which we'll get into One Tree Hill graduation, the parents
Yes.
in the OC of the graduation episode to
All of
watch
them.
their faces. Julie's face. I could cry thinking
Me
about
too. Julie's face. Oh, it's so sweet, but also then it's like so heartbreaking knowing what you know. I just watched my daughter graduate, and within hours, then I lose her.
And the family dinner. They all have dinner that night. I mean, it's just like more knife after knife going into the heart, going into the heart, going into the heart. It's a beautiful episode.
Yeah. Whereas the graduation episode for One Tree Hill leads into all of the kids graduate. Haley is the valedictorian.
Yeah.
She's also pregnant. It's kind of comical because she's having the baby on the stage, making her speech. It's so cute. And so she goes in and she has the baby. And Karen is also pregnant at this point with Keith's baby. Thank goodness, because this is like her only lasting memory of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
They got married. They were going to get married. They didn't even get married, right? Damn, that sucks. Anyway, so she gets pregnant, and we think we're going to lose her during childbirth. Remember that? And she has that whole dream sequence of Keith, and then that's why she names her Lily, because they're in like the field of lilies. But then it's also later because we kind of figure out where what everyone's going to be doing. So we have Brooke and Peyton. They have plans to go to California.
Wait,
right?
Brooke and Peyton. Is this Psycho Derek season 4?
Yes. So they just have made up.
Yeah.
Because of the whole prom situation.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so the girls, I'm pretty sure, like, end of 3 into 4 had no relationship because of the Lucas stuff.
Right.
Guys, my memory is... it's been a long time.
Shot when it comes to One Tree Hill.
So please don't. I mean, you can yell at your cars and phones and things, but it's hard to think about all those years ago. So from my memory, the girls have now, of course, reconciled, and they are planning on, I don't know if they're rooming together or whatever, but they're going to California. They're going to LA.
Yeah.
And then Dan, he's in jail for Keith's murder. Like, oh my God, I feel like, wow, how did we get from that one last season finale to this season finale? Like, everything has been wrapped up. We know Dan killed Keith and Karen gets pregnant and everything. So it's just so much. And then Karen goes to visit Dan in the prison, remember? And she spits on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget that.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, the boys, like the first episode of the series, they play basketball on the river court. It's really sweet. I remember when we talked to Lee, they weren't sure if they were even going to get picked up again. So they kind of made it like an homage. And it was a good finale episode.
It was a really good finale. And we also had the wannabe...
The Spice Girls.
The Spice Girls dance. Before we get too ahead, I did want to say with One Tree Hill season 3, the 316, the shooting episode.
Oh.
Which is one of another iconic, not to keep tossing around this word, but it's that episode.
316. When you think of One Tree Hill, you think of 316.
Yeah.
You think of the boys. I feel like you think of the pilot episode where the boys don't like each other and we're finding out who they are and them versing each other on the river court. And I feel like you think of like the Nally wedding and the Leighton wedding. Like, those are the things you think of, and you think of the school shooting. Like, that's One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
You know? And Close Over Bros.
And then,
in a nutshell. And then Trick. I mean, we can keep going.
Yeah.
There's so much.
But 316 is, I'll never forget us watching it and not believing it. And then we live streamed that. And we're like, no, there's no way.
Never forget.
There's no way. That's not true. No.
And every fiber of my being just was like not having it.
No.
I was like, no, not having it.
No.
And Ingrid's like, but are you sure? Because you got shot in the chest.
Yeah.
I was like, it's Jimmy's funeral.
Right.
I was just in such
it's Jimmy, because the next episode opens up and
it's a funeral.
It's Jimmy's funeral.
Yeah.
That's it.
Was the season 1 finale of now I'm gonna like test our memory here, but I remember an episode, I'm pretty sure it was in season 1, where we open up and it's Dan's funeral. I think maybe that's season 2 opening, because in the finale of season 1, it was the fire and we didn't know. I'm sorry, it was a heart attack and we didn't know if he survived.
Right.
And so we open up, I'm pretty sure it was season 2, where Dan's having a dream that he died. Or Deb was having a dream that Dan died. Yeah. And she felt guilty about it because she didn't rush to call 911. I just figured it out on spot.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go into the OC season 4.
Yeah, so we're going to compare season 4 to 7 through 9 of One Tree Hill, but let's briefly mention One Tree Hill season 5 and 6.
Absolutely.
Which is, there's a time jump. I liked the time jump.
They not trick you, but they surprise you when you find out Leighton is not together.
Yeah.
Because they were so chummy at the end of season 4, thinking they're going to make everything work in their relationship. And then you find out that, you know, he's dating another girl and she's dating Julian, or I guess at that point we don't know that at the time. But yeah, they didn't have their like epic romance until much later, which is great. Right. I like that. I like that spin.
Yeah.
The audience really had to like work for it. You're like, no.
We did have to work for it. And, you know, we see Brooke grow so much. Close Over Bros. Gets Angie.
She
the
gets
whole baby.
She was going to adopt her.
Yeah. I mean,
Angie. That was such a sad day when she had to give her up.
That was just,
She just wanted to be a mom so badly.
Yeah.
When do we find out that she can't have children? It was like right around there, right? Or
That's
was
a
it when
really
she
good
was
question.
with Julian?
I thought it
Was she
when
already with
she's
Julian?
Julian.
So sad.
Yeah. 6, all I think of 6 is the end of Leighton.
Is the end of Leighton. It's the end, literally, as the one podcast listener said, the end of Leighton. And it could have been the end of Peyton.
Me.
She almost died in childbirth, just like Karen. Isn't that crazy?
Well, first off,
because it's One Tree Hill.
Peyton is the most tortured character
guys
ever watched on television.
Yeah.
They put her through it. Every other character, like, we've watched so much teen drama. Peyton by far is the most tortured.
Yeah. It's just so sad. And that episode where you don't even know if Peyton's going to make it, Lucas has the baby.
Right.
He's sitting in the nursery in the dark.
Yep.
And starts crying because he doesn't even know if his wife is going to make it. Like, they mess with our emotions. And then, luckily for them, they do get their happy ending. Yeah. And they ride off into the sunset just like Grease.
Just like Grease. And they have their baby Sawyer.
They have their baby Sawyer. I love that idea of using her last name to name the baby. I thought it was just... I think it was a good wrap up, and I feel like I know everyone felt as though they were cheated by them leaving the show. Years later, now we know why this was the case, and I feel like, yes, this is the ending they should have gotten.
Right.
And I'm happy that they did. And then we find out that Brooke tells Julian that she loves him at that point, right?
Yes.
Love that. He's like, this is like a movie, and she's like, well, if it was a movie. He's like, you would have to kiss me. And she's like, no, if it was a movie, I would tell you I loved you.
Ooh.
I love Brilliant so much. I mean, I was a broken record on Tree Hill Talk, but I really do. I feel like I want to go back and just rewatch for some of that because I miss Brilliant.
Yeah.
Like that really like angsty relationship in the beginning because she doesn't want anything to do with him. And he's just like, yeah, she's cool and cute. And I just like want to get to know her. And she was like, nah.
Well,
not into it. Plus, you dated my best friend,
Peyton, and he starts out as like where he's
a little douchey,
presented to us as a dick. But I love that he's just a
he's just a goofball. He is such a goofball. He is a lot more insecure than most of the guys on that show.
I mean, really, when it comes to going into 7, 8, and 9, Julian and Chris Keller, in my opinion, were the best parts.
They were the best parts, for sure.
Minus Brooke and Haley. Like, minus our main people, but
the additions of what we get. And I liked seeing more screen time for Mouth and Millie. That was good.
Yeah.
And then we meet new characters.
Yeah, so before we get into that, just so we compared the OC Season 4 to One Tree Hill 7 through 9.
8 and 9.
So to wrap up Season 4... this finale is really nice. It's a wrap-up of the characters. Seth and Summer, we see, get married. Sandy and Kirsten move back to Berkeley. They have another child.
Sophie.
Julie ends up going to college and gets a degree. She has a child with Frank Atwood.
She has another baby.
She has a son. Ryan becomes an architect. Everything is tied up nicely. Summer becomes this amazing activist working for George. I'm sure Seth finds his way.
Yeah. What do you think Seth was doing?
I think he became a graphic artist.
That would be cool.
I really do. I think that's what he became. And so it's tied up in a nice little package.
Yeah. And in the beginning of the episode, it was Julie was getting married again.
Yeah.
To
Bang!
The bullet.
She chooses the bullet.
The bullet. Bang.
Bang.
Mm-hmm. Bang.
She chooses the bullet.
I just remember Kiki not trying to be there because she was pregnant. She couldn't get there. And
when you know what? Actually, now that we're talking about this and from listening to Welcome to the OC Bitches and the fact that Melinda and Kelly are actual best friends.
I know. I love it.
This like warms my heart that I would think that if they were to get married, maybe they would want each other at their wedding.
Absolutely.
You know, if this were to play out in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a nice little packaged finale of the series. We have such turmoil before that with that whole earthquake.
Yeah.
So it's sad for a while and we don't really know where we're going from there, but then all the pieces get picked up again and you just close it in a little box.
And you know, a lot.
But season 4 is whacked.
Well, it starts off with
everyone
mourning
Marissa,
which I feel like so strong. That first episode is great.
Yeah, first episode's great. The first few were great, and then as Ryan and everyone else is trying to put their lives back together, and they finally do realize that they need to move on, that it gets so much lighter and it gets so much goofier.
After Christmas.
Yeah, and it's just like a roller coaster from there of things that they just throw at you, which, I mean, whatever. It's just, it's what it is.
It is what it is.
We can't go back and rewrite history, so.
I love it for what it is.
Yeah.
I know at the time because I even said it, like, I'm over talking about it, but I do love it for what it is.
Yeah.
We had some great Taylor moments. We had the introduction of Taylor. So here's bringing in another character. We knew Taylor, but now we see her as a different character. We're seeing more growth, and she's getting the spotlight. Right.
The spotlight that she deserves. I mean, it would be controversial here, but.
Right. So.
And we do get Caitlin, who's sort of, I mean, we know we get her in season 3, but the older Caitlin, like, we get more development with her. So it is like we're focusing on new characters like One Tree Hill as well.
Right. And we get Frank.
We get Frank.
And we get more Bullet.
Yes. Bang.
Bang.
You can't not say bang.
So One Tree Hill 7 through 9.
7 through 9. So we have in lots to go up here. 7, which I feel is a good finale. Michelle and I were discussing. The whole gang goes to Utah.
Yeah.
Because Julian has a movie premiere.
Right.
And it's beautiful, and the snow, and they bring Jamie with them, and it's just a really cute, like, fun family trip with everyone. And Julian proposes to Brooke. So sweet. Love this proposal. Haley, she finds out she's pregnant again with Lydia. So she tells Nathan in this finale. And we have Alex. She pursues Chase.
So new characters coming in, even though Chase resurfaces.
Yeah, Chase was there for a minute in season 4 and then doesn't really get reintroduced until later, right?
Right, yeah.
We don't really see him until, I don't even know, was he in 7 and 8? 6 and 5 and 6?
5.
Oh, he's in 5?
Yeah, because he comes back as Peyton's date for Lucas and Lindsay's bachelor party. And they kiss to make Lucas and Brooke jealous.
No recollection of that. No recollection of that. Oh, God. Whatsoever.
So 5 and 6, right? Those are the missing years of Chase. So, and then he starts up with Mia.
Right. So he comes back into...
And he's Owen's friend.
Tree Hill, because he was working in a furniture store, right? Maybe that's how we met him again. He was Owen's friend.
Yeah.
Who Owen was, like, pursuing Brooke.
Right.
And then we reacquaint ourselves with Chase. And then Chase starts working at Trick, and we know what happens there.
We sure do.
He becomes the bar manager.
Mm-hmm.
But Alex...
And the bar owner.
Yeah. Alex gets introduced as this new actress on the scene because she's working with... Julian. And she wants to be with Julian. Right? For a long time, she tries to toy with that.
A little bit, I think.
And I feel like her and Brooke didn't really get along because of that.
Yeah.
And then she finally realized, like, oh, okay, I should stop trying to pursue Julian.
Right.
And we get a little bit more depth with her character, and then she pursues Chase.
Right.
Who I think was dating Mia.
Well, it was back and forth.
Very right.
Mia and
right
then,
before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's season 7. Season 8, Haley and Brooke reopen Karen's Cafe.
Which is sweet, but, like, I hate 8. Everyone knows how I feel about 8.
I feel like, I guess 8 was worse than 7, right?
Because, I don't know. I honestly...
8 was like the season of Quay.
Right.
You know? So we have to hate 8 more. For those of you who are non-familiar, I don't know what you're doing here, but...
Yeah, no, you're lost.
Quinn and Clay, because they were introduced in 7... Clay as Nathan's
like agent.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm like scout. No, that's not the word. Agent. And him and Nathan, they form a friendship, a good friendship. And then Quinn, as we know, is Haley's sister, which is like I even forget that that's the case.
But like that was a good thing to do. Use people
Haley
in
has
Haley's
like 7
family,
to 9
right?
siblings.
With Taylor, who's so fun.
Yeah, I love Taylor's character.
Yeah,
I wish we could have seen more of just like family.
Yeah,
meet more of her siblings.
Well, we met her mother who died.
Oh. They bring her back just to kill her. It was fucked up. And her dad's already dead at that point.
Awful.
That is awful.
What the fuck happened? torture us a little bit.
You don't think they can get Huey Lewis again?
I know.
And that's why,
I know, right?
like, that's why they were like, can't get him again. So
He's
that's
dead.
it. That was so messed up. So we open up season. Sorry, that's my phone. Season. It's by the cord. It's like I'm playing a game right now. Let's hold it over here.
Yeah.
We get the introduction of Quinn, who's a photographer, and she's like supposed to be mysterious, but she's not really mysterious. But Barbecue Dave and her no more. It didn't take very long for that.
No.
But then her and Clay have that very just like quick, intense romance where she's like trying to figure him out, but he's like, I don't want to be figured out. I truly don't remember.
I don't remember either. And then when do we get that psycho in there?
Season 8, because that's the season 8.
Right.
No, I think it's the season 7 finale we get her. Right? Because I remember we ended it on a cliffhanger, and I'm pretty sure in like 8, like most of 8, they're in their dream. Right?
Oh my God.
That's why it's so terrible.
It's so bad.
And then 9 is when we find out he has the son, right?
It's not 7 finale because that's Utah.
Oh, right. Duh.
Yeah.
So season 8 finale into 9.
Which is...
And I think 9, some of 9, they're in this dream sequence shit. And then they get out of it and then they decide, let's get married and have their kid together and whatever.
Do you think people who are listening to us who live one trailer are screaming and cursing at us?
Probably.
Like you're the worst?
I'm sorry.
Guys, go over to Ravens.
Yeah.
Go listen to Simon and Dom.
Yeah, right? They're going to do a great summary with all that.
Great job.
Yeah, so that's season 8 finale. We have Nathan and Clay finding potential players for Fortitude. It's when they open up Fortitude, correct? And Mouth and Millie start their talk show.
Yeah.
Mouth and Millie in the morning.
Super cute.
Very cute. Love that relationship. But a lot of shit happened in between with that.
Yeah.
They're both virgins, and then she loses her virginity to Owen.
Well, no, Mouth isn't a virgin. No, Mouth had sex with what's-her-face? A clean teen.
Shelley?
Yeah, didn't Mouth have sex with Shelley?
I don't think they had sex. Did they?
Did Mouth and Shelley have sex?
This is an episode where Alyssa and Michelle remember.
I'm pretty sure.
You might be right. But Millie was a virgin and she lost it to Owen.
And then there was Erica Marsh.
Oh my God, Erica Marsh.
She was so... I thought Millie... I know Millie was a virgin, but I thought she was so insecure about it because... Like, if you're both virgins...
I think you might be right. You are right. I just don't remember how Mouth lost his virginity. Haley, can you hit us up and let us know?
I know. How did Mouth lose his virginity?
Everyone is screaming at us. This is like, you're getting the most raw, real interaction between Michelle and I having a discussion about One Tree Hill. So you guys should really just like appreciate it.
You really should, because this is like Tree Hill Talk raw.
Exactly.
This
is like, let's test our memory.
It was Shelley. I think it was
Maybe
Shelley.
it was Shelley, and then he regretted it afterwards.
The two got...
He wanted...
Mouth lost his virginity to Shelley
yes.
at the house party.
Yes, and he wanted to, but then afterwards was upset that he did it because she like left him after that, right? Like he was like heartbroken after that.
I don't know. I don't remember how it went,
Guys.
but I know he lost his virginity to Shelley.
Okay. Makes sense.
He wasn't a virgin.
Okay.
Yeah. But Millie definitely was a virgin.
No, Millie was a virgin, but that whole stuff, and then she had that coke addiction.
And she lost her virginity to Owen.
To Owen, out of all people.
On Halloween, right?
That really upset Mouth, obviously, as it would.
And it upset her, too.
Of course.
But
and then they got back together, and she, like, sobered up because Owen was sober.
Right.
And that's how they had the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of that happened. Oh, my goodness. And then we have a season 9 finale. As we know, that's a pretty memorable finale. So we have the musical performances at Trick. Everyone goes back there. Quinn and Clay end up getting married at Town Hall. They adopt Logan.
It's adorable. It is really cute.
That was a nice story. Yeah. I remember, you guys might hate me, but literally that was like one of my most memorable moments is when we find out like Clay has a child and he's like not a dead child. It's like he's like this ghost child. Remember we thought it was a ghost child the whole time?
The whole time I thought it was a ghost. It was a ghost baby.
But it was actually like Clay remembering oh, I have a baby. I have a child.
I
That was
mean,
so ridiculous.
Talk about ridiculous storylines.
But I was so here for it because at that point I was like, give me something.
Another thing, not to interrupt your season 9 flow, but Dan's heart.
It was 8.
No, I know, but
Right?
like that's iconic.
Iconic.
And then Jamie playing it on The Sims.
oh my
like,
God, you're so
simulating.
right. Yeah, so I mean,
It-
yeah,
Nuts.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Before the finale, though, we do have the passing of Dan,
Yes.
which we knew was going to happen.
I mean,
Remember when we found that out?
remember when Nathan was fucking kidnapped by Russians?
And he was in captivity for like half the season.
You know what's super fun? You should have someone in your life watch One Tree Hill up until 6. Don't have them
And then
watch
tell
7.
them.
And then have them watch the finale of 9 because I just did this with Ant. And Ant's like, who the fuck are these people? What happened to Nate? Oh, yeah, he got kidnapped. What? Chris Keller's back in? Like, it's so insane to explain it to someone. And they're like, wait, what?
Yeah. So we have Chris Keller back, which is great. He came back in end of...
He comes back in 9.
He comes back just in 9. We don't see him before
I'm
that.
pretty sure
We might have seen him like once before that, right? But yeah, I mean, I remember when we get the introduction back to him, and I was like, yes.
I remember when Ingrid teased that, and she's like, someone you love is coming back. And it was Chris Keller, and I was like, yes, because
oh my God,
we love him.
we love him. I love Tyler Hilton so much, and just his
he
portrayal.
comes back in 4. He's in season 2, 3, 4, and 9.
Oh wow, so we do have a big gap in between.
Yeah.
So, Brooke and Julian have their twins already, which is so sweet.
Yeah.
But Julian buys her childhood home.
Yeah.
The girl behind the red door. And that was really sweet. And then we get a whole time jump 5 years later where Jamie is like the high school captain of the basketball team. And he's the one coming out. And you're like, oh my God. Like you're trying to figure out who everyone is because they're supposed to be older.
Yep.
And everyone's at his game. And you see Mouth and Millie are married and Millie's pregnant. And so sweet because Bevan ends up being there and and Skills are together. And
Yes.
that was so funny. And yeah, we just get like a little pretty package of all what our characters are going to be doing. And
So
it was sweet.
So really, we could compare.
The finale to the finale.
Finale of 4 series
To
and
9.
series. I think those two can be compared to
Definitely. I mean,
more so.
with a lot of shows, I'm sure they do a time jump.
yeah.
Gossip Girl's going to do it too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, all right, let us just show you a little bit of a preview of where we hoped our characters would be.
Right.
And it's good to see that you like, it's like the finale of the show. You're like, oh, that's it. Like you find out that's like the close of the chapter, and
Yeah.
it's sad.
It is sad. It's always
I'm sad thinking about the finales of these shows, even though I've seen them already, you know?
Well, it's like saying goodbye to your friends and
It
people
is.
you've committed to. Tree Hill Talk, we committed for X amount of years.
Oh my God. We were
OC.
so sad when that ended.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's a happy sad finale. There's not much sadness, but
No.
lots of like happy sad.
Right.
So you're like, it's ending.
Yeah.
Same with the OC. It's a comical finale, and then the wrap up of everything is like very sentimental, and you see
It's light.
it's light. Definitely light.
I mean, that's what you want for your favorite
You do.
people, right? That you've been on this journey with. You
Yeah.
just want lightness and heart and love.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So these two compared, these seasons, these shows compared. And you know what's funny? And all of the years we've been doing this, we have never had an episode, I don't think, on One Tree Hill and the OC combined.
No.
This is the first time.
I don't think so. At least not for everyone. It might have been a Patreon bonus
Maybe, yeah.
in some sense, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is our first real live episode of comparing the two shows we've podcasted and completed.
Yeah, and completed.
Two shows that are always pegged against each other, where I feel like in reality don't deserve to be.
They shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be. It was just whatever your vibe was growing up. That was a show that you chose, or it was someone got you into it, or you saw a preview and you're like, that looks like my cup of tea. And you start it and you have the nostalgia going back. And obviously we were here to give you that nostalgia, and I hope you listened along with us. And we're on the journey with Michelle and I for Tree Hill Talk, and on the journey for pretty much me, because it was like I was seeing the OC for the first time in like 7 years at that point.
Right.
So it was 2 fun, wild rides.
Yeah.
that I wouldn't trade for anything.
Me neither. So special.
Yeah. So if you've been with us for that long, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. And we hope you continue on our Gossip Girl journey and soon to be Friday Night Lights journey.
Yeah, tease, it's coming.
Yeah.
If you're watching the Gossip Girl reboot, we are covering it. We're covering it. All the episodes are doing in the summer, which is 6. So you can find us over there at 3 Gossip Girls Pod. Also, just follow us on Total Betty Media for all updates for what's to come.
All the info will be there.
And then you can check out TotalBettyMedia.com for our Patreon network.
Yeah, join us. Our Patreon fam is the best.
Yeah.
Our Bettys, we love them. And you guys get to have special VIP moments.
Yeah.
All the things that all those normal people can't see and listen to and get to talk with us.
That's right. Also, if you ever have an idea, send it our way. You never know. We might end up talking about it.
We might end up doing it. I mean, this was been requested a
couple of times.
And like I remember vaguely a long time ago, like when we were still doing like Let's Talk OC.
Yeah.
So here it is. If you were the one requesting it, thank you. And we hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys when we see ya.
That's right. This has been a Total Betty Media podcast, produced and edited by Michelle Rubenstein and Alyssa Tenio, music by Anthony Vicora.